Welcome to the Run Your Day podcast, a show dedicated to helping you expand your capacity, take your life in every area to an entirely new level, and creating a day and a life by design. Here's your host, Dan Hafner. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Run Your Day podcast. As always, your host, Dan Hafner here, the creator of the RunWage app and host of this here podcast, Run Your Day. Today's topic is this, my friends, the lens of opportunity. As always, I appreciate you all joining. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode. All right, my friends, so we're going to talk today about opportunity and the lens of opportunity, specifically two different lenses that we tend to view opportunities through. But first, a little bit of a backstory on this. Without making a whole big long backstory of this, I myself kind of have had some opportunities come up, bigger opportunities, specifically inside of the RunWage app, with some some like global partners, some big stuff, like things that could radically change the trajectory of the business, right? I'm not going to like reveal anything more than that. It's still very, very early stages, but it's exciting stuff. And then I actually knew a couple of other people right now that I work with in some other capacity, either partners or vendors or whatever, that I know personally, and they've kind of had the last time we spoke, they've had some opportunities come along, and they kind of expressed the same type of thing to me. And so these are all opportunities right inside of business that I'm talking about, but these can kind of apply to different areas of life, which I'll get into in a little bit. But it was really interesting because it kind of started happening over and over, not only in my own life, but then in the lives of other people around me. So I thought this was really cool to come on and talk about because at least this happened with me. I can't really speak for the other people, but so what happened with me, right, was when this partnership deal, when this collaboration deal was presented to me, at first, I was like, wow, this is a great opportunity. I was like super excited, right? And I was like jumping up and down, like, oh my God, like this could be the big break. This could be something that takes everything vertical. Like this is it, baby. Right. And then this interesting thing happened. Then this very interesting thing happened where I started to get fearful, right? I started to question. I started to think about, am I really capable of this? Or is this, can I really do this? Right? It's almost like this imposter syndrome kind of creeped in, right? And it was so interesting to observe because this has been about 48 hours now since this has all happened. And I've now just kind of worked through it, right? And that's kind of why I wanted to come on here and talk about this, right? Because I think if you look back on your life, whether it's inside of your body or a business venture, a career venture, or even a relationship, right? There's constantly this questions. This imposter syndrome, this, are we good enough for this? Am I good enough for this? And it comes down to this. Now, I'm not a mindfulness coach. I'm not a mindset coach. I should preface this all with that. Maybe those of you who are, you can listen to this and be like, well, I know why he does this, right? And this is just me talking from my experience. But there's this piece that comes into everything that we do, and it's a vision of ourselves, right? There's this vision or this identity that we have for ourselves, right? Now, a very simple example of this, right? If you work out and lift weights and you can only bench press, I don't know, let's just call it 100 pounds for round numbers, right? Your mind knows that, like, hey, I'm a 100-pound bench presser. Or your mind says it's tied to your career, like, hey, I am a software engineer. Like, that's who I am. I'm capable of these things, and this is my limit, and this is what I do, and this is who I am, right? Without you even thinking about it. So now when you go back to the bench press example, you throw 125 pounds on the bar, or 150 pounds, or 200 pounds. Your brain automatically has this freak out moment of, wait. No. We can't do that, right? That's not, no, you're a 100-pound bench presser. You're not a 200-pounder. What are you doing here? Relax. You're going to fail. You're going to fail. That's not you, right? This is that little conversation that it might drag on for days, or it might be like a snap of a finger, or it might be that little shadow of a doubt, right? Either way, it has to do with this aligned vision and this identity of who you believe yourself to be. And nobody's better about this, talking about this, than Tony Robbins. Like, I'm far from Tony's capabilities and all this stuff, but if you want to learn more about that, just look up Tony Robbins. Like, all the stuff he has talks about this in way, 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 way more depth. But inside of what I'm talking about here, you got to break through those, right? You got to break through that self-limiting identity. And how do you do that? Like, well, what's a practical way to do that, Dan? To be honest with you, it's so hard to kind of just pick down everything's different inside of each situation that you're in, right? But the it always comes down to challenging yourself. Like, it just comes down to getting out of your comfort zone, right? And like, even the opportunity that I have coming up that you guys will probably see roll down the pipe here, not too far in the distant future, like, you're hearing about this firsthand. Like, this is not even a real thing yet. I'm not like going back months later after this has already worked and recording this. Like, I'm stepping out into this and it's uncomfortable as shit for me. Like, I'm uncomfortable about it. I am. And not in the fact of like, oh, I'm doing something wrong. I'm uncomfortable because like my identity is still like struggling to be like, no, you're not, you don't do that, Dan. Like, you're not capable of that, Dan. And it's this struggle for me, at least personally, like, it's this struggle to constantly be like, you know what? No, I am capable of this. I can handle this. I can do this. Right. So, what I want you to think about today, where in your life do you kind of have this pattern come up? Maybe you don't have this pattern come up and everything I've said is completely irrelevant to you, in which case, move on to the next episode. But maybe if any of this does ring true to you, right? When you have these opportunities come up in life, do you tend to see them through the lens of excitement and possibility and greatness and this chance to grab this thing that you've been after? Or do you constantly see opportunities as work, as obstacles, right? Because the difference in these shapes your life. It shapes your life, right? Like, I can think back to when I met my now wife, right? Like, to be honest with you, I never thought I would ever be good enough to date her, like, to actually win her over. I just didn't. I didn't see, but now looking back, I know why. It's because I didn't see myself as someone who was capable or worthy of being with a woman like her. But I broke through that belief because I just kept going. I got uncomfortable. Like, I went down and visited her. I kept dating her. I screwed up a lot. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I probably did all the stupid guy things that normal guys do. But I kept going. And it was uncomfortable for me. But looking back on it now, I mean, we've been together like 8 years now, right? And looking back, like, it's like, wow, like, it was because I was willing to get uncomfortable. And even though there were plenty of obstacles, like us being long distance, us being, you know, I had just graduated college. Like, there was really all kinds of obstacles that could have easily taken that opportunity and thrown it down the drain. But I chose to view it through the lens of excitement, of possibility, of, wow, there could be really something special here, right? And I think at some point along the line, I did lose that mindset. And it's really interesting to find it again inside of myself and find this, you know what? Like, yeah, you can be scared. You can feel unworthy. You can feel that imposter syndrome. But the beauty in life lies in pushing through that anyway, right? Pushing through it and just doing it anyway. Because I mean, what do you fear? You fear rejection. You fear regret. You fear reprisal. Like, what do you fear? Figure that out and push through it anyway. Because the one thing I keep learning about myself and my life and the lives of other people that I continue to watch and see rise is people that do big shit and accomplish things push through uncomfortability. They see those opportunities not as work, not as obstacles, but as opportunities to grow and to become more. Because it's in those moments. It's in those moments of decision that you can shape your destiny. You can. And it sounds corny, but it's true. It's 100% true. So my question for you today is simply that. Like, where in your life have you seen opportunities as exciting possibilities, and where do you see them as obstacles? And where can you start challenging yourself more to push through that uncomfortability, that fear of rejection, that fear of imposter syndrome, or whatever you identify that to be? Just push through it. Do something uncomfortable today. Do something uncomfortable and see how you feel afterwards. It's addicting. It's a freaking drug, I'm telling you. Like it's so it's like turning myself on a little bit talking about this. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. All right. On that note, we're gonna conclude this show. Oh my God, what am I talking about? All right, cool, my friends. So that is all I have for you today. Push through, get a little bit uncomfortable, do something crazy, do something you might not expect yourself to might be able to do. Run another mile, lift more weights, do something nice for your spouse or your significant other, or go a little bit further inside of your career. Do something that you don't think you can do and figure it out. That is how you grow. That is how you become more. You seize those opportunities and you make those opportunities for yourself. All right. So that is all I have for you today, my friends. I will be back with you on the next episode. As always, I appreciate you guys joining. Head over to runyourdaypodcast.com for more information and more cool stuff. All right, my friends, that is all I have for you. Dan Hafner signing off. Make it a great rest of your day. Hey, have you ever thought about joining a virtual run challenge? As COVID-19 continues to upend our lives and change our life routines, finding fresh ways to challenge yourself physically can be difficult. I know I'm having trouble with that. It can also be pretty hard to connect with others and find accountability partners for the purpose of fitness as well. That's why we created Runwage Virtual Challenges. Runwage Challenges are a new and exciting way to stay physically active and maintain social distancing. Every challenge takes place 100% online, and you can compete against and engage with runners from all over the world. Best of all, they are the only virtual challenges out there which actually reward participants with real cash. That means you have no excuse for staying inactive during this pandemic. So if you've been looking for a fresh and interesting way to stay active and get your miles in, go to runwageapp.com/virtual challenges to join me and the diverse community of runners already competing. That's runwageapp.com/virtual challenges. Can't wait to see you there.